Welcome to this webinar. I have here Irene Amsen, and Irene is from the wholesale Rhinetex, and I would love you to tell a bit about where you're heading to.
Yes, thank you, Jeltje. Rhinetex is we are distributor for free spirit fabrics, and we are going to move to the eastern part of the Netherlands. We go to Deventer, and
Wow. Good news.
good news. And the main reason is that we're going to grow. We're going to grow with the free spirit fabrics, with the cave fabric. We're going to explore the UK market bigger. We just hired 3 new sales reps to get it bigger and more sales in the UK. So we need more space.
So that's why Deventer.
That's also why
I know
Deventer.
that place.
You know the place, and well, we had to look for a bigger place,
Yeah.
and that's also a good place for us. I also live in the neighborhood, so that's also for me very convenient. Yes.
And Irene, can you tell me how you met or when you met Cave and Brandon?
Well, we first met Cave and Brandon, I think it's almost 10 years ago. We were then, at that time, Rhinetex was also the distributor of Free Spirit and Cave. Then a couple of years we were not. And now from I think September we are back again. They ask us if we will be the distributor again, and we love to distribute a new and nice fabric.
Yeah, and that's great news for the quilters world. We have Cave and Brandon back in the stores in the Netherlands.
Yes.
You're also bringing knitting yarn. That's a new product.
Yeah. Yes, we are. I can show you something. It is the West Yorkshire Spinners. It's a new yarn. It's 100% wool, and it is from the English sheep, and it's a very nice yarn. And we just started it. We just started with the promotion of it. So it is very nice, various yarn. So if somebody,
please open it. Just the first page. Isn't it lovely? I see some plates in it.
Yes.
Yeah, and socks.
And socks.
As well, and I think you go to Germany.
Yes, we have. Yes, we are. We also going to the H&H in Cologne. It's the end of March and the beginning of April, and we have a nice booth there where we show all the free spirit fabrics, the yarn, and also the mode fabric. We also distributor of mode.
Okay. Hope to meet you.
Yes.
Yeah, in Cologne, and we also like to thank you about the Share James project we did.
Yes.
We had a very international group working on the 3 quilts. One is in Canada, one is in Dallas, in the Museum of Mark Dunn, and the other one is in Deventer.
Yeah.
Yeah, and can you please introduce Cave and Brandon?
Yes.
And ask them to sit.
Yes,
here.
of course. Well, we asked Cave and Brandon to come to our house show. They already gave 3 fantastic and very interesting lectures about their design, the use of fabric, etc. And tomorrow they also will give a lecture in Woerden by Susanne Otto in the shop. And on Wednesday they will give a very nice lecture by Leur in Etteleur. So now I think they are very enthusiastic to say something, and it's an honor that they are here at Rhinetex, and I would love to welcome Cave and Brandon.
It's very nice to have you over here. There are lots of people looking at you at the moment. It's a live broadcasting. also from other countries, from
Right.
mostly from Europe, some from Australia and the US.
So we'll try not to
United
swear.
You
We
have to
won't-
behave
no
today.
rude words.
Yeah. Well, maybe in the
In
fifth
Dutch.
question I ask you something, maybe you will do a bit more. You travel a lot together, and do you get inspired still by your traveling?
Absolutely. Everywhere we go, there's something extraordinary and new. I mean, the wonderful thing about going from culture to culture, like we were in New York a week ago, then we were in Barcelona, fantastic tiles and beautiful colors and so forth of that culture. And then we come here to Holland and we see all of the interesting things that are here in Holland, like particularly Deventer, the old town is beautiful.
I mean, the way the houses are stacked up, as if they've got a library, and each house is a different size, and the shapes on the windows, and the old world, and the fact that each door opens up onto the cobbled courtyard rather than the front garden.
Garden.
And it's just unique, and of course that feeds our sensibility, because when we're doing the design, it's never a direct interpretation of something, so it all stacks up as different impressions. I mean, we're even inspired by your black and white cows. You never know.
That's why
Watch this
I
space.
hope you will sometimes you will do something with grey and black. But I think you are too colorful.
Never say never. Never say never.
That's also the style of Jen Kingwell is a bit with the greyish and graphics and so.
Jen Kingwell is a breath of fresh air.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
She is. Yeah.
Over in Australia.
Yeah. Okay. If you have to choose between the cold colors, the cool colors, or the warm colors, if you have to choose, what?
Simple colors, huh? Well, I often mix those words
I know.
up. So, gosh.
Would it be a blue one?
It's hard to say. It depends on what day it is, because I have different moods and different days. Yeah. Some days I'm very cool. Yeah. Other days I'm very hot. I want spice and richness. So it's hard to answer.
Yeah.
Can I just give you a scenario?
Yeah.
For those who like a gin and tonic is boring without the lime.
Yeah.
You're not second on lime. You just have a little bit of, or it's like when you put on lipstick. You're not covering your whole face in that lipstick. You just put a little bit of. So when you're working with a color palette, you need that little bit of a paprika or a little bit of chili pepper.
Yeah.
So.
Just a bit of red and lots of blue.
Cherry on the cake.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, somebody asked Kaif, and I had no idea how he was going to answer this question. She said, if you could only work with one color, what would it be? What do you think the answer was?
Grey.
How did you know?
Sorry.
I'm shocked. Yes, you said grey. And I thought you'd been reading that book. 50 Shades of Grey. No.
I go a bit further.
You go a bit further. I'm not going there.
Okay. So in Houston, I saw you too at Fall Market. I was very surprised to see the amount of types of fabric. We see a shift in the designs. You told me in the lecture all the tiny bits and pieces. I see the little bits and little patterns back in lots of fabric.
Mm-hmm.
And I see still your bold size of fabric, and that's what I love the most.
Yeah.
What do you see as new in the fabric lines they are offering now? What is the?
What do I see that's new in the fabric lines? Well, usually the things that attract me, that excite me, are something that is an echo of the old world. Where there's the classic, beautiful shell, or it's interesting that Philip Jacobs is doing these beautiful classic shells to start with, or flower prints. That's what kind of excites me more than very modern new things. Although Brandon has done these
That's
wild
the fifth question.
dancing ladies.
How
you know.
did you
Yeah.
think of that?
Well, because they look like rows of wonderful flowers. You know,
Yeah.
it's very similar to this design.
With a pair of legs.
Tell
Yeah.
me about the design.
It's flowers with legs.
Well, no, I saw a line of can-can dancers,
Yeah.
and the way they had their skirts opened up like big rosettes.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
thought that would, people are often saying to me, when are you going to do flowers? Well, Kay and Philip do flowers so well that
Yeah.
I don't need to do flowers. If I'm going to do flowers, I'm going to do them in the abstract. And so for me, these were flowers
Yeah.
with fishnet tights and
And
a
it's very
smile.
similar to this design.
And one lady said to me, "Oh, I love the fabric. Well, what am I going to do with it?" Well, simply cut it out. I mean, have fun with it.
Absolutely.
Either wear it
Dare
as
to cut it?
either I wear it as an apron,
Yeah.
put it as a border. My thing is when I'm designing fabric, I think about who's your audience. People are often making quilts for somebody else.
Yeah.
They want the quilt to be memorable. They don't want it to be as if they found the quilt down in a corner shop and so.
So
And
the
it's-
Folie Bergère makes it unique.
Absolutely, but it also has a sense of humor. It gives it a little bit of personality and smile.
Yes,
So,
it's a
you know,
giggle.
yeah, I don't. Now you talk about trends.
Yeah.
What I noticed with trends in the high street, what we're seeing a lot of is
Yeah.
black and white.
Yeah.
That's going to be gone in 6 months. So everybody's saying, when are you going to do black and white? And it's like, wait a minute, and you'll be onto a different kind of thing. And it is exciting, this black and white trend, and it's fresh and it's very Scandinavian, and we are buzzed by it. But we also know that's going to go very quickly.
Yeah.
And what I noticed with the patchwork industry, companies often delve into, this is trendy, let's do that. And that then the distributors are left with bolts on their shelves afterwards because they can't sell it because the mood has gone. One of the things that we've learned is you can't sell a fabric without showing people how to use it. And for instance, we design fabric to do books. The books are our selling tools, show people how to use the fabric. So if you've got a bolt of black and white markings, that can be quite intimidating to people unless you actually show them how to dissect
So
that and use
integrate
it.
it in a quilt.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
So I think if I were a shop buyer, I'd be a little bit cautious about following trends. I don't want to stop anybody from having fun, but yeah. And so that's why we don't go in when people say, when are you going to do what everybody else is doing? Well,
No, that was not the
it's
question.
not. Yeah.
So when you were in Deventer in the IJssel Hotel, you showed the fabric that was yet to be there, and it's behind that clip. I think you'd like to see that. This one.
Which one was that?
Is maps, called maps.
Oh, the maps, yeah.
That was
Yeah.
lots of black in it.
Yes.
This one.
This
And
was the
nobody
very-
wants
very- very
to have
dark
this
color.
one.
Yeah.
And then
That was difficult for people?
yeah.
Yeah.
Until they saw the quilt.
Right.
Yeah. So you're definitely right. So that's how it goes.
And because maps are beautiful to me. When I look at the weather on the television, and there's the map of England or the map of Spain or whatever, the shape of a country is a very interesting and organic shape, and that's what I was trying to do with
the
those.
organic shapes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's very good for the environment as well.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And about the new book, Big Blooms.
Yes.
What is your favorite quilt or favorite picture in the book?
My favorite quilt. I suppose the very first page,
Yeah.
there's a quilt called Seed Packets, which is like looking at a rack of seed packets with big flowers featured on that. And I had it up here a minute ago in my lecture. That's the strongest. That tells the story of what that book is all about. It's about a celebration of bold blooms in decorative arts. So I took all of my china, all of my beautiful fabrics, vintage fabrics and oriental fabrics and big embroidered shawls and everything, and I photographed those so that those would be part of the book. And then every chapter ends with a needlepoint kit, so you can stitch your own big flower.
They are gorgeous. I love the needlepoint.
Yeah, good.
Your favorite quilt in the book, Brendan? or picture?
Well, the book was 4 years in the process, so
That takes so long.
quite
It
hard.
took
Yeah,
so
it's
long.
quite hard
Yeah.
because
I didn't know.
that wasn't down to us and getting our work done. That was down to changes in the publishing world and so forth. And it's also a big book, big production. Um, Most enjoyable part of the book, I wouldn't say it was a particular quilt. I'd say it was actually the photo shoot, because we did the photo shoots. We make the way that we work is that we'll make a design, then we'll go out and find a location that is suitably aesthetic to the whole situation. And so pushing and pulling the photo shoots into very different ways. There's one shot that we set up. It was a still life, and you've got a black and grey striped tall vase, and there's a very dramatic bouquet of flowers in that vase, and it's against a dark background, and it's really dramatic in comparison to a lot of palettes we would do, where the eye drifts over the whole arrangement. And
But actually, that reminds me, we did something very interesting with that book. We shot the whole book in an Italian garden in England. This wonderful Italian designer had done this beautiful English and Italian garden, the whole, and the publisher said, "No, I don't like that. I want you to shoot it all again inside." So we had to go to a house and figure everything inside and interior. And it was very beautiful mixing the two worlds. At the end, we picked a very beautiful house with wonderful colors, wonderful old wallpaper, and a black wall that he's talking about, where this very dark quilt was showing. And so we had two worlds to show off our quilts.
But what's exciting about this book is it's a perfect example of using fabrics that people can still buy today, and also fabric from their stash. So it makes it all look new, and we had to do that because of the longevity of the book. And so it's not just using current fabrics.
I loved it.
Yeah, and it kind of, for us, there's lots of processes. There's one, painting out the designs, sending off, the design comes back in fabric. Then we get to cut it up. Then we make the quilt. Then we take it out into a location and photograph it. So it's like a stacked layer cake. There's lots of variety, and that's incredibly rewarding to us. So to have one favorite,
people glad.
Yeah. Well, good, because there's never a boring day for us.
It's play. Well, it's play.
Always new.
Yeah, and it's also, none of it is pre-planned. We're living by the seat of our pants. The only challenging part is when we disagree, which is part of the creative spice. Yeah. And we always work with the same photographer. We're very fortunate, and that's part of our process.
Okay.
We're lucky as.
Can I ask one question?
Sure.
Fire away.
Do you like to talk about your shirts? Because how many shirts do you have? You order those beautiful.
Well, I love to have shirts of my fabric, but I also love to have shirts of Japanese fabrics, African fabrics. So I have many different kinds of shirts from different worlds. But because men's shirts are bloody boring. But this is one of my fabrics, and these are my ribbons, and I was able to put a ribbon on the edge, and that makes a difference. And then Brandon used his own fabric and some shirt, and it's very rich for us to be able to bring in the color and the complexity that we like in a shirt. Through our own fabric.
How it all started was, I had a fabric that wasn't selling very well, so I had a shirt made of that fabric, and that fabric then sold. I don't know what other relationship between me and the fabric made it sell more so, but that's sort of the trend that whenever we have a new fabric collection out, we get a shirt made in that collection. But to me, it's an advert. I mean, when you have your cuff done like that, that's nice, but that actually is a billboard.
Yeah.
That's, so you can put a strip of fabric on there, and guaranteed you will get the compliments. And then take the buttons off your old shirt, put a strip of fabric on there, put your buttons back.
Oh, you do just a little bit.
Yeah,
I see.
Yeah, and then
that's actually a ribbon too.
But you could take
just another fabric
and sew it down, and you make a cheap shirt look expensive.
Yeah. Good.
Just don't tell anybody where you bought it from.
So, last question. How will your week look like?
How will our week?
Next week.
Our
What will you
week.
do this week?
So, well, Keith never knows.
Okay.
That's why I asked
He
you.
does the schedule.
Yeah.
In a sense, so we are that busy. Since Christmas, we had Christmas in Hastings, New Year in Vienna. We were home 4 days, and then we were in New York. Then we were there for. Keith received a Lifetime Achievement Award at the Vogue Knitting Gala dinner. It's very
Seems
nice.
very old.
And then we were home 4 days, and then we were down in Barcelona speaking to sales team down there. Here today, Germany tomorrow. Next week we go home, and then we have just opened an exhibition in outside of London in a place called East Grinstead at a National Trust house, and then we're going to another National Trust house to recreate that place because they've heard of the success on this exhibition. Now they want to have an exhibition, so we're doing that. So it goes on. We're booked up. This year is pretty much booked up.
Yeah.
Plenty full.
Keith will be in Nantes at the Quilt Mania festival in April, where they're having a big free spirit promotion sponsored by Rhinetex, and there's going to be all the artisan fabrics and samples, the quilts from Quilts in Italy, our last Patchwork and Quilting book. Liza Lucy will be there, who sews and writes the technical instructions on Keith's books for the hardback books. Also, the glamorous, gorgeous, desirable Amy Butler and her very handsome husband, David Butler. So that's just a little bit of titillation to go there. But unfortunately, I won't be there, so the fizz will be out of the.
I thank you very much for being in our webinar. I know you don't are used to digital world, if I can say so.
True.
This is another digital world, and it's very new, and I am so happy you were here.
Yeah,
I hope it felt good.
And I really believe that this is going out to the world, but I have no idea.
That's where
It is.
are the young people.
We have,
Yes, exactly.
We've had some comments
Yeah.
responding to your lovely explanations. One person says, talking about trends, you can make the trends when you make quilts.
How very nice. Thank you, mysteriously.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Leuk. Hello, Desiree.
Hello,
Welcome
Jeltje.
back, people from abroad and behind the computer. We are having a chat now with Desiree. She's working with Rhinetex. And Desiree, I know you're the first K-Facet fan ever I met. Maybe Carol Cox was first, but I think you were on.
We were one of the first, definitely, definitely.
Tell me
Yes,
about
yes.
it. What did you see?
Well, it was something totally new, something that had never been done before. Out of all this traditional patchwork fabric came all of a sudden colors and blooms and stuff like that, and mix purple with red, and instead of being boring blue, brown, everything, all of a sudden there's this color explosion. And well, I remember the first time I met Kay Fassett in The Hague in a big show, and he was standing in the same booth that I was watching. I thought, oh my goodness, this must be him. I said, are you the real Cave? And he said, yes, that's me. I thought, oh, that was very exciting.
How old were you then?
How old was I then? Oh, it must be 20 years ago, I think, at least. Yes, yeah. And we both feel old. So after that, I was sold. Definitely, that was the best thing ever. And I've been using them ever since. I sleep underneath K-Facet fabric.
Tell me about your bedroom.
My bedroom. I, for one of my husband's birthday, I had sewn a duvet cover. And we love it so much. It goes into the washing machine, into the dryer, back on the bed, because we like it so much. And I've had it for at least 10 years, and you can not see that it's been washed. It's still the same wonderful color, still the same vibrant blooms. It's still the same. So when Maarten SMS'd me one night and say we were going to be back with K Facet and Free Spirit, I didn't sleep that night under my duvet cover because my brain was going totally crazy. Yes, fascinating. So I'm a
K-fascinated.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, great. Yeah. And can you tell me about what we can expect the coming months?
Well, at the
in
moment,
the stores?
Yes, we are selling the new Artisan, of course, which is absolutely exciting. With wonderful new bold design. With
you the coming months.
I hope
more
so.
than once.
Yes, I think so too.
We will celebrate again.
Exactly. Thank you so much.
So now we will have a little chat with Miriam. You please come forward.
Can I speak?
Yeah.
Okay, it's not.
Hello.
Hello.
Nice to have you here.
Thanks
As
for the invitation.
Another shop owner, we like to chat with you.
Mm-hmm.
And can you tell me about where is your shop?
Well, actually, it's not my shop. It's
Yeah.
my mom's.
Yeah.
The name of the shop is Carol Cox from Utrecht, and it was founded by Carol Cox 19 years ago, and my mom took over 8 years ago. So we're in the middle of the Netherlands, so it's a wonderful place.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
also near the Utrechtse gracht?
At the Utrechtse, yeah. It's the address is Oudegracht.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah,
it's
the
at-
Oude Gracht
yeah.
in the center of Utrecht?
Yep.
Yeah?
Yep.
And that's very famous. That's very special.
It's
the
very
canals in.
the canals are worldwide.
Yeah.
It's I believe even UNESCO World Heritage.
Yeah.
So yes, it's a wonderful place, and the canals instead, in contrary to Amsterdam, where you only can walk at street level,
Yeah.
in Utrecht you can walk at the canals at water level. So it's a little bit
Gorgeous,
different.
gorgeous. You have
But
to
I
see
think
that,
it's
yeah.
more beautiful. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So, if you do courses, are there specific courses who do more K-facet fabric or less K-facet? Can you tell me about that?
Yeah,
The
well,
use of K-facet fabric in courses.
we do have a very wide selection of the fabrics by Brandon and by Cave and by Philip.
Yeah.
So the real collective. People choose their own fabrics during their courses.
Oh.
So you can either make a sampler with complete fabric by Cave Facet Collective, and sometimes people come in and use the books to buy the fabrics. But we have a rather large collection.
Of books.
Yeah,
And
books,
fabric.
but especially the fabrics.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they bring the book to the shop.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what happens.
Yeah,
Now
they do.
then.
Yeah, yeah.
Wonder where they buy the book.
Sometimes first in our shop, and they or they already have bought it,
Yeah.
and they go through it, and they say, well, I want to make that quilt, and I want all the fabrics that are in there.
Yeah. As a shop, makers.
By the colors that the collective has. So we have a red, a blue, a purple, a pink, yellow, and the grays, the pastels. And so we do have a wide collection, but it's a gut feeling by my mom, who does the buying, and it's the purchase. Yes, indeed, and it's the colors. It's the original fabrics, and it's a combination.
And all the fabrics work together
They
and
blend
they
perfectly.
do
Yep.
what you want.
Yep.
Is it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you very much,
Okay.
Marianne.
Thank
It
you
was
very
nice
much.
to meet you.
Okay, thank you.
And I think also the audience are behind the laptops and tablets and PCs. We hope to meet you again on the next webinar. Ciao.